problem with valuative feedback is that it can feel like an extrinsic reward that is ultimately meaningless, rather than a form of communication that speaks to intrinsic goals and aspirations. Researchers have discovered that even positive feedback doesn't necessarily work to motivate people if the feedback doesn't feel genuine to the person receiving it. Although advocates of behaviorism assume that people are more likely to do something if they are rewarded for it, perhaps in the case of writing by getting A's, experiments often show that rewards can backfire. For example, in a series of experiments conducted during the 1970s, psychologist Mark Lepper and David Green rewarded some children who were drawing with a certificate with a gold seal. Those in the control group who didn't receive the certificates were actually more likely to choose drawing as an activity afterwards, as were those who just received them randomly as a surprise. Edward Deci and Richard Ryan conducted a number of influential studies to establish what they called self-determination theory, and unpack some of the problems with relying on external rewards. For example, in one study, college students who were paid to solve a puzzle were less likely to tackle the puzzle afterwards than those who hadn't been paid. Deci and Ryan argue that human beings have a deep need for competence, or controlling outcomes, relatedness, or making connections, and autonomy, or being able to act as a causal agent. If they feel manipulated by outside forces, they aren't motivated to improve.